And we are live, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Park Hopping,
where we have nothing to talk about.
Assistant to the president, the CEO, the manager, the guy in charge, the guy that wears the crown, the guy that put all this thing together. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is here.
I prefer
to introduce men before the women.
I prefer the high school dropout. What do they say? Content farming. Because I just upload things over and over again for views. Clickbait master. Toxic male. That's how you should introduce me. But hi everyone. I'm not gonna go full sarcastic, Jeremy, because this is the family-friendly version of Geeks and Gamers.
You are the boss. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, I just think it's interesting. You say you're creating a family-friendly atmosphere, yet you're drunk 3PO.
I know.
Welcome back to Drunk 3PO's channel.
But you are allowed to drink alcohol.
This is true. Unfortunately,
yeah.
And that's not what Walt wanted, by the way. But whatever.
Well, all the other theme parks you could drink heavy, except Legoland. It's the only one.
Legoland.
Yeah. You've never been to Legoland.
I will go now if there's no alcohol policy. I'll be there.
Yeah, Legoland. I like Legoland. I will say this. Your last thumbnail made me laugh so hard. I had to text Krista.
She's been making them. She's making them. Yeah.
All right, look. I know this ain't park stuff, but we're waiting for people to get in. But for like 10 in a row, you're like this, like 10.
Yeah.
Which I totally understand because mine are all like. I'm all laughing. That's what's going on in the news right now. And then all of a sudden, I see Jeremy like this. It just struck me funny. Like it just struck, and I text her. I was like, "Did you make that thumbnail? It's freaking hilarious."
Yeah, she's been killing it.
She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I wasn't trying to be, rude. Like I wasn't like laughing.
No. What did you say afterwards? You were like, "Is there anything you can't do?" And I was like, "Open up a jar." And then you responded with, "Okay." Like thanks.
Jay has really weird text tendencies. It's kind of confusing sometimes because like you don't really understand what he's saying sometimes. His personality does not come across in text very well.
No.
Tugs, do you agree with that, Tugs?
Yes.
Like, yeah, and like
you'll be in a full-on conversation, then all of a sudden it'll just be one-word answers, and you're like, "What?" Did I make you mad? Like, what's going on?
If you guys don't mind, please share this video out on social media. And because I'm sure we won't get. I mean, if we get 25 people watching, I'll be excited. But I mean, honestly, with the way like last night when I was streaming with Gary, obviously Gary's channel hasn't been affected by anything yet. I mean, but like Doomcock had like 200 people watching him.
Yeah.
I mean, so I hopped on Doomcock's channel after we got done, but I had 5 channels streaming out of my subscriptions. Only one of them was actually showing though. It's really strange what's going on right now. No,
it's true. Like Mary's channel, Marioki, usually has about 100 people. She was like at 20. I did a live stream yesterday too. It was like 30 people. It kind of toppled up to like 70 and then came down. So it's just something to expect that they don't. Yeah, when I saw Doomcock's numbers, I was like, something's wrong. So that's definitely wrong. So
what shirt is that, Jeremy?
Okay, so
me?
This is the shirt that Jeremy bought me. He probably didn't even realize it. And
she's talking to me.
I know what shirt you're wearing. I've never seen. Oh, it's your hoodie. Oh, okay. I was like, what is that?
All right, so let me tell you about my shirt.
It's my hoodie.
Cool. Sorry.
The last day before Disney Springs closed, I had to pick something up for a couple people, and I was like, this was my finder's fee. So I appreciate it. No, Jeremy's got all the cool Geeks and Gamers clothes, man. When I went and visited him.
Awesome.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and give me just a minute. I'm going to share this out, and then I'll have an explanation. So hang on. Yeah. We're live.
I'm waiting for the new merchandise to drop.
All right, we're live. Boom. All right, so this is I just bought like these hoodies from Walmart, and then there's like a local print shop in the mall. This isn't like high quality print, so I mean, a few washes and this thing is gonna go away, because it's just what is it called, where they just kind of iron it over for a bit and it'll hold on.
Screen print.
Yeah, screen printed. So it's just like they just ironed it on. So it's almost like a vinyl sticker of sorts that was kind of ironed on. So this isn't anything I would sell because the quality is not going to hold up very long. So it would cost me a lot of money to mass produce these that I just can't afford right now. I want to, but that's where when we do launch the website, which is going to be very soon, we're going to have membership options there that. Everything I do, and I haven't put a lot of money, like I probably put over $10,000 into the website at this point, rebuilding it. But everything I do is based on being comfortable with YouTube could be gone tomorrow, and that's not everything that our business model is built off of, but that's a huge part of it. But once we get the website established and get memberships over there, it's going to be able to allow me to be a little more comfortable with investing even more money. But we do have some new merch that we're working on that's going to be launching with the new site. I don't know if it'll be as much as I would like, but we're working on having a park hopping shirt and hoodie
Man, I can't
with
wait.
that
That'd be
logo.
awesome.
And so I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
Before we
everybody wants
continue,
this.
Can we? 30 people here. Can we just give a clap for Krista for making these awesome logos and
Yes.
faces and everything?
Yay!
And
So
Drunk only
happy.
does this so he gets credit, but he says, hey Jeremy, Krista's probably your best find ever for Geeks and Gamers, and I have to always go. Well, technically, you found her Drunk first, and then that's how I got to know her. So
When you're this good looking, the women just flock to you.
or when you're just harassing them in their mentions, eventually they're just going to respond.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Did I harass you, Krista?
What was that? Sorry.
Did I harass you?
many
Exactly. Don't have to
times.
say it.
Many,
Don't have to
many-
answer.
He wouldn't even let her-
No,
Another
I'm
great
kidding.
woman I found for you guys too.
It's true.
So-
It's true.
Mhm.
Look, I said it a while back. It's not so much that I like Drunk 3PO. It's that he just brings a lot of women. So that's why he's here. He's not talented. He doesn't get good views on the videos,
True.
but he brings a lot of women. So that's why he's here. Obviously,
True.
I'm joking.
No,
so.
it's true. It's all true. Almost 40 people in here. Wow. Thank you.
Woo.
Mhm.
I appreciate
No, I
that.
remember, and I've told this to Krista, but I've messaged Drunk, and I was like, "Who is this chick? What is the deal?" You know what I mean? And
What
yeah,
is that
man.
goose fin?
But yeah, thank you for everybody that's here. We appreciate it. So we're gonna talk some theme park stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so technically, Teresa Drunk is the one. Yeah, everyone's like, thank you so much. All right. Technically, the theme parks were supposed to reopen April 1st.
Yes.
April Fool's Day. And the crazy thing is, we were able, like, I have fast passes for Disney World on April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they opened up their fast passes. They were actually selling. So remember the last one of the last videos was I did like an update on what was happening, and somebody in the comment section wrote, "Hey, I just ordered tickets for April 2nd to go to Disneyland, so I think they're gonna open." I just was able to buy my tickets, so that's when I think I sent that in the park hopping chat, and people, and I think Tugs and others were like, "Whoa, really?" So that's when I was like, let me see if I can get fast passes. So sure enough, I was able to get fast passes. And so I was like, well, maybe. I called my friend Ben, and who works over at Universal, and he goes, well, we're supposed to be getting our work schedule April 1st too. So it was all like on the lines of, well, maybe they are going to open. And then all of a sudden they just dropped saying that they're going to be closed till the 19th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's gonna be longer than that.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
too.
yeah.
Orange,
Go ahead, Kristen.
Orange County did that
Sorry.
shutdown until the 9th, so they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What were you saying, Chris? Or were you about to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I agree with you there. I think it's going to be closed even longer than that.
Well, I mean, this is gonna have a major impact on everything moving forward. I mean, this is gonna like, I don't know how much of an impact it's gonna have on maybe like the Tron attraction that's being built. Like, what was the release date for that Tron attraction at the Magic Kingdom? When were they shooting for?
Next year, next
year
summer.
for the 50th anniversary. Same with the Guardians roller coaster. The only thing that I know is scheduled to open this year was the Ratatouille ride in Epcot, France, and the Space 220 restaurant, which are almost done. So they should open this year anyway, as long as we get back on track, because they were practically done anyway. So.
Right.
Now, I was told, and my sources are better than your sources, that construction, even though the headlines are saying that construction has halted, that they are running minimal construction crews at Epcot and Universal Studios to.
Universal's in full-blown, Universal on Florida side anyways, in full-blown construction mode. They're still working on that Jurassic Park coaster. The accounts we follow on Twitter are uploading pictures all the time. That thing's going to be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I wonder what type of impact this is going to have on the Nintendo Land development in Orlando.
Well, they're working on it full steam. So
they are.
Yeah.
One in Japan still under construction as well. They're still working on it. They haven't stopped.
Okay.
So.
Now the crazy thing is they opened their parks up in China. So
yeah,
the China parks are open.
Kind of.
And, yeah.
My Nerdy Home says, can you see Star Wars Celebration being impacted by this? Absolutely. I think Star Wars Celebration will be canceled. I hope not. Because we're all, supposed to.
Postponed.
What's that?
Sorry, I hope it'll be postponed instead.
Yeah. I'm hoping so. I mean, honestly, I think Disney may see this as an opportunity because Star Wars is so dead right now anyway. I mean, they don't have anything. They don't have anything to announce. They don't have, and of course, even if they did have things in the works, like this whole situation has pushed everything back. So now they really don't have anything going on. So I think they may see this as an opportunity. Go, yeah, let's just use this as a way to get rid of this because we have nothing to announce anyway.
40 people in here. Thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button. I have some questions. So My Nerdy Home, yeah, we answered that one. Do we think that'll be in? That sucks. I haven't bought my airline tickets, but I should because they're so cheap. They probably would refund me if it got canceled anyway.
Yeah.
So
buy your airplane tickets now. You can always cancel it and get the travel credit. Like, this is the perfect time to buy. I keep canceling mine and rebuying.
It's a good idea, actually.
When is Florida Nintendo Land supposed to open? Drunk 3PO 2022,
I think. Yeah.
Or 23. We're supposed to have small. The rumor is almost 50 people here. Wow, thank you. The rumor is they might open a couple sections to get people to start to filter through some of those things in 2022. Now, the Japan one is supposed to open up this year, but I think they pushed that back 3 months. So I think it was supposed to open up in August, and it's being pushed back in 3 months. Now, from my friend that works at Universal,
your sources.
Yeah, he doesn't use his name. They have hired, I want to say 8 or 9% of the team in Orlando, and they're flying them into Japan to work and be trained on that Nintendo Land so they can come back and it's a 16-week program. So he was supposed to leave, but he's not going to because he does voiceover work and they need him to stay to do voiceover work. And he just did voiceover work for Gollum.
Ooh.
Very impressive.
So figure that out. If the Lord of the Rings stuff is true or not. He just said sometimes they do voiceover work and it happens, sometimes it didn't, but he was doing Gollum. And so that would be interesting if they had Nintendo and Lord of the Rings stuff there. And
gosh, the Lord of the Rings park, I would never leave. You'd have to physically drag me out of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean that, and again, they're gonna have a Mario Kart attraction. I'm never leaving, and I'm gonna bring Ryan. I'm gonna bring Ryan.
Family friendly park, no more.
Yes, Josiah. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, flights are so cheap right now. It's disgusting.
Wow.
I saw a round trip overseas to Japan right now for like $400 from here, which is impressive because Vegas is usually high.
Wow.
Okay, I heard they reclosed the parks in China. I have to look in that. What they did close was the movie theaters. I know that much. So to get into the theme park in China, it's quite an ordeal right now. So you get in, you have to get your temperature tested. They swab in your mouth for some other things, and you have to wear a mask everywhere you go, and you have to wear gloves.
Yes.
So in order for you to even go to the park, you have to have all these things in place, and they spray you. I don't know what they're spraying people, probably Lysol, but they're spraying people. The video of that is hilarious. It's not hilarious, it's weird, but yeah,
it's crazy.
Japan is the same way. Japan opened their Legoland on Monday, and they're doing limited capacity, no cash, and all of their sit-down restaurants are closed. So all their grab and goes or quick services are open, and their masks, temperature. I don't think they're spraying people though, but they're doing it, and it seems to be working. So that might be something that the parks here are going to have to look at too, and limit it their capacity and pick and choose who gets to go and who doesn't, and all of that stuff.
26 Snoopy 82 said Christopher Tolkien would not have a Lord of the Rings theme park, so I don't know if the Tolkien's family will allow it. Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing, but there is, I understand the concern. I mean, this is why, what's her name? Who's the Harry Potter chick? What's her name?
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling, she originally had a deal with Disney, to bring Harry Potter to Disney. Ultimately, Disney wouldn't give her any creative control. She walked away. She went to Universal. She had more creative control. I get the concern of having a property, because look what happened with Star Wars. Look at this. Look at Galaxy's Edge. It doesn't represent Star Wars at all. And so I can understand why they would want to be protective of that property being, put into a theme park and the creative control involved. So that makes sense.
Hold on. They've been doing temperature. Okay, so I was at Disney Shanghai last year, and they didn't have any of that stuff. So I went to Disney Shanghai last year, rode the Tron ride, which is amazing. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing, because the Tron ride it's really weird. So like you sit on a motorcycle, and they have these clamps coming between, like on your knee, where your knee bends, and that's what holds you in. And then you hold on here. So it's really, I don't know if they'll do that in America, but in China, it was like, wow, that's all that's holding me. Like what if like Mark goes to ride that ride? How is that going to work? Does he get locked in, or, I mean, I don't know. But they didn't do any temperature testing or anything like that. So
once Mark gets on the ride, then it's over. If he does get stuck, just have someone ask him about PC specs, and he starts talking, and they will get him out of there as soon as possible. Like, oh my God, shut up.
I should have known better than to ask him. Tron is similar to the Pony Express in Knott's Berry Farm. I've never been to Knott's Berry Farm.
Me neither.
Anybody?
Where is that at? It's that in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like an hour out of Disneyland.
Yeah,
I've never been.
So I hear it's a small. Is it? They have Legoland in California too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So they have the same kind of thing. Now Legoland, it's near Disney. Okay, so Legoland is did they send out a statement that they're going to stay closed too?
Yeah, so both
Legoland Florida
are staying closed. Legoland Florida's new reopen. I have notes. Legoland's new reopen date is April 14th. And then Legoland California is the 15th. So both of those are earlier. Well, the Florida one is earlier than the April 19th thing for Orange County, but they're in Polk County, so they don't count. So they're going to try, and that'll give them some time to just stock up on food if that's, because everybody donated all their food. There's no food in the parks right now. So that'll give them time. So we'll see. I don't know.
I live real close to Legoland. I drive past it every day when I go to the gym. So that's how close I live. And they're running rides there, and there's cars in the parking lot. So I guess they're testing things. So if that thing opens on the 14th, it'll be packed. It'll be that. They might just do that for the simple fact of being jam packed because nothing else is open. The kids are not in school, and they have the one in Florida has a huge water park, which is what most people go to anyway when they go to that Legoland. It's just the water park is giant. I don't like going in there because when I see like 300, 400, 500 little kids in like the water park, all I think about is pee. I know they're peeing in that thing. I know they're peeing, but they get like giant Legos you could float on in the lazy river and go down these volcano slides and everything. But all I see is pee, and I'm just like.
But when you pee in the pool, doesn't it turn blue?
That's
from like grown-ups, right?
Yeah. Don't they have that? I don't know.
There's a chemical that'll turn the water blue, but the parks don't.
Make sure they don't put that in a theme park, because then everyone will be like
putting chemicals in the water that turns the freaking frogs gay.
Oh, he works at Busch Gardens.
I work at BG. What is BG?
Busch Gardens.
Oh, you work at Busch Gardens. In Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you work in Busch Gardens, Virginia? Because there's 2 of them there.
No, the Iron Gwazi, I believe, is Tampa. So that's
in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to tell you, man, the last time I was at Busch Gardens, I was not happy because half the rides weren't working. And
holy crap, Chris's question. So people go, "That's a myth. It's Chris to 5.
Not a myth.
That's a rumor. It's yellow. It's green. Yep. Nope." Like it's like so many different answers based on what you said.
There is an actual chemical you can put in your pool that will yes, because it reacts with the acidity. Chlorine water doesn't do it. These are crazy.
Yeah, but when you want more chlorine for pee because it kills like yeah, I gotta swim in bleach, man. I can't.
I just avoid water parks. I don't do water parks.
No water parks for me.
You must be this high to watch me. Oh, Mikey's always roasting. Yeah, we know Mikey. We know Mikey.
Yeah, go ahead and keep spamming your Snyder Cut bullshit in every thread that it doesn't exist.
God,
just like an SJW. Snyder fans are SJWs. Just like, hey, there's a conversation that has nothing to do with this. Let me hashtag release the Snyder Cut in a thread that has nothing to do with it. That sounds like an SJW. Exactly. Like these people are obsessed with making everyone else worry about their bullshit. Snyder fans are weird, very strange.
They are very strange.
Dad is angry. Yes, he is. No, he's not angry, man. Go to his like 3rd video. He's like,
I had a happy thumbnail.
Love that thumbnail. I love that thumbnail. It's pretty sad.
We're right, Steph. He's right. You are. And if it had been any other director saying what Zack Snyder has said, everybody would be making videos and talking about how he's a jerk and all this stuff.
Hey, I mean, I took up for Zack Snyder. I mean, I like Zack Snyder. I like a lot of his movies. I like him as a person. Doesn't change the fact that his DCU is trash.
And speaking of trash, SeaWorld's getting a lot of crap.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the comments on their post? I was reading them this morning. People are like, it would be really great if you never open again. All of this stuff. And I'm like, y'all need to chill out.
Yeah. How can they even survive? You know what I mean? Like at this point.
That's why they furloughed 90% of their employees. Because they just don't have the money. And that's remaining are their animal care workers.
Yeah, they fired everyone so they could get on unemployment. Mm-hmm. And listen, man, Orlando, it's like 80. I don't know what the stat was. Somebody said it was around like 80% of the people living in Orlando work at a theme park. Mm-hmm. So, which is a lot. Yeah. And my goodness, man, if like,
ballpark
are going on,
Yeah. California is the same way. That area of California where Disneyland and Legoland and all of them are, it's all the same way. It's all theme park workers, especially the young kids.
That's pretty crazy.
Candace is here. What's up, Candace?
What's up?
Hey, Candace.
Hello.
Long time to see.
Why do you and Krista tilt your head the same way in your
We take photos.
It's a thought. We just know. thought pics.
Wait, does my avatar do that? Kind of.
No.
It's
A little
still
bit.
facing that
Oh my
direction.
goodness. Wait, mine does. Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
Jeremy, we all look to the. We all look that way.
We're all looking the same direction.
It is kind of funny. And Chris is also loves Baby Yoda too, and
Maybe Yoda from I-
we like video
What a
games.
coincidence.
We have a lot in common.
A question is, what are your thoughts on
Yes.
the Avengers campus at Disneyland? Do you think they will delay the opening?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes.
Unless they're still doing full construction and ride tests, which is possible. I haven't heard anything about it, but yeah, they're almost done. They're supposed to open in June, but there's no way they're going to do it if everything's not kosher. And if they've stopped construction like they have been saying in Disneyland completely, they
Yeah,
have no choice.
exactly.
So, Candace, how much? You've been doing a lot of research on this. How much money are we losing here?
It keeps going up, which is why I've been hesitant putting a video out on this initially, because I knew this was going to happen. As it goes further and further, they start to use numbers that are cumulative of all of the properties, because I think there's some parks are like halfway open or partially open, or they're closing and open. It's just it's all in flux still, but I've seen it go up to 71 million, some estimates 71 million a day, which is ridiculous. That's absolutely
71
ridiculous.
million?
Yeah, it's gone.
That's just
I've
for
been
Overall, or is that overall?
no
Disney?
total
Total.
Disney losses right now. See, that's the thing. It's hard to break this all down. Disney's massive. It's massive. And so, isolating it to just what the theme parks is, it's like, what was it? I don't know, somewhere in the millions, but not 71.
The last article that OC Register put out says it's about 3.4 billion
Yeah.
total.
Total.
And that number is going to go up now because they were running those numbers
Exactly.
on them opening the first. So now that
Exactly.
they're closed even longer, that number is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, it's like I would say an outsider trying to get like an accurate assessment of how much they're losing. All you can really do is calculate estimated revenue that they're losing in the parks, and you don't really take into consideration investment loss because of the money they've put in on projects that are no longer going to be completed probably this year now. There's several of them, so it just compounds the amount of money that they're losing. And it's tough to get a full your head wrapped around that number.
Yeah.
How convenient that Mr. Iger stepped down.
Poor Chapek.
So it's funny you say that. I do Google searches every day on both Iger and Chapek, and I'll tell you,
Chapstick.
never see articles written about the new CEO. He doesn't have statements. He doesn't say. There's still articles here and there about Iger, but nothing about the new CEO. So he is quiet. He's got his head down right now, or he is just literally not doing anything and is just a shadow puppet at the moment.
Iger's still in control.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too.
I think so too.
How do you take that? All right, so let's say something bad was happening at Geeks and Gamers. Like you're multi-million-dollar corporation, which hopefully will happen next year, Jeremy. So don't mess it up. And
No pressure.
You need to make a fall guy. Do you call someone like, "Hey Jay, I'm gonna pay you. I need you to be in charge for 6 months, maybe a year, and just you'll be okay. Your family's gonna be fine."
Go ahead and sell your $3.5 million property because it's on it's for sale right now, and we're gonna put your life completely on hold, figuring out what you're gonna do next, and then this happens.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly like again, it
would be me because I'm a nice person than Ryan. Trust me. Ryan does a lot more than I do, so it would be me. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably, you know what I'd probably do? I'd probably make it a woman just to when it all falls apart. I'd be like, see, women fuck everything up. This is why I'm a misogynist. This is why, so, but, I think it would be good. I think it would probably, if I needed to do what Iger did, I think it would definitely be easy to put Jay in that position, and then we could have a Me Too scandal breakout, and it would be very believable. Be like, oh yeah, drunk harassing women. I would totally believe this. So yeah, I think I've got it figured out. But in all seriousness, if anybody's followed the path of how Iger has been as CEO of Disney and how reluctant he has been to relinquish that position, and so many different people have been, rumored to be in that position, only for him to then extend his, contract even further. This happened multiple times. So Tom Staggs was the first one, that was in line years and years ago, and suddenly he was, let go and told that he would no longer be the successor to Iger. And then there was another person, and then there were rumors of even Kathleen Kennedy after The Force Awakens, had such a successful run. But ultimately he kept stalling. And then for him just in a blink of an eye, boom, step down immediately. If you've been paying attention to it, you knew something was up. And I firmly believe that Chapstick is a fall guy for sure.
Yeah. Well, and they, that they're all the entire board's in on it. They unanimously voted Chapek in. Chapek's got a son that works with Feige really closely with Feige. This is nepotism at its finest. I think you got to keep a lot of stuff in house when it comes to certain. Maybe I'm not saying there's scandals, but I'm saying it has been coming up a lot over the last year that there's been issues with cooking the books with Disney, and even the CEO salaries have been taking a lot of heat and criticism over the last year. I think there's some lawsuits being filed right now towards Iger, who, despite taking a 30% discounted salary over the last year, still is getting sued for taking too much. I think it's interesting. I think there's something. I keep looking for stuff with that because it's just something's brewing. They took out a $6 billion note, or a couple different notes totaling $6 billion of debt for Disney to use towards, quote, just like towards their outstanding debts and some other ongoing things. It's a scary time to be a Disney shareholder. If you haven't already let that one go, just gonna say it's been crazy since the shareholder meeting. I mean, the day after the shareholder meeting, or 2 days after the shareholder meeting, it was all of this just continuous craziness going on. And the shareholder meeting wasn't that great anyway. There was a lot of contention with questions with that already. And then this, it happened a day later.
What do we think? Oh, go ahead,
Jeremy.
I was going to say, just a real quick, just to stay on the topic of the title of how, I want to know, how long does everybody guess that, the Disney and Universal theme, how long are theme parks going to be closed in the U.S. if you have to guess? So I'll go to Drunk, and then we'll go to Barbie and on through. So how do you just a guesstimate? How long?
Sure. I think they will open it up to Floridians May, to people in Florida first. And then once the travel, because they're not going to want, if things are still bad in New York or wherever it might be, they're not going to want them to fly in and go to a theme park. So I think we're going to see something pretty interesting where it'll be locals first or locals only. And they're going to say, this is what someone told me. So they said that and I don't know if it's true. This could just be totally a fart in the wind. That's all I'm saying. But it does kind of make sense that in May they will open it to locals. You got to have a Florida ID card or something, unless this thing gets bad in Florida. And they'll open it up, and then they're going to have a special ticket, just for until they are allowed to reopen it up to the world, where it'll be a little cheaper, and to try to get people back in to get paying their workers and all those things like that. Again, I don't know if this is true. Is someone told me this. And
We
so
talk about hedging your bets. Here's what's going to happen, but I don't know if it's true. But this is what's going to happen. But I don't know if it's true. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is what I think is going to happen. But I don't know.
I feel like that's too complex.
Better. You guys
That's
say
right.
it like
Disney
my
will
sources
never.
are not your sources, but this is a rumor, so take it as a grain. I don't know all those catchphrases. I said this is what I
That's
think
way too
might happen, but it
complicated. Disney would
probably
not
won't.
do that.
All right, here, let's see if we can get a definitive answer from the Goose fan.
I mean, I kind of agree with Jay there. Like, I
Damn
think
it.
they might open. Well, no, I think that because I'm hoping that this virus will die down in the summer, you know, like all viruses usually do. But I do see it even extending until maybe October. But again, I think that they're going to do what they're doing. I think it's in Japan that we're talking about, where they take samples of people. I think that they might start doing that before they open it up entirely to the public.
Yeah, I mean that's the hot weather is definitely going to have it. Like it's already getting hot in Florida. They're getting pretty warm down there in Orlando area.
Yeah.
And so it's getting really warm here in Florida. And so I think that's a good point that Krista makes about the weather, summer, and everything like that. That could have an impact on this specific area of Florida that we're talking about, with Orlando being Universal and Disney. So good points. Candace?
So I feel like it needs to be a simple system, whatever they do. I don't think Disney is fit or capable, and they know that, of doing anything too complex in terms of how to keep this closed or open. I think that because of the curves we've seen so far with this virus in other countries, 2.5 months from the start to finish is going to be a good estimate. 2.5, 3 months. If you think of that in terms of seasons for Disney, summer opening up for the official summer season would make the most sense. Being able to have the park completely cleaned, ready to go, just a nice, literally a nice clean opening is what they need. And they do not want to do it too early where they get these issues where a guy might contract it and die again, which is what happened in the news. I mean, he had underlying issues, but still, that's not a headline that you want after you wait a while to open the park. So, 34-year-old contracted park hopper. You know, he went to Universal also, but of course the headlines were all Disneyland. After visiting Disneyland, contracted the virus and then died. So
He didn't get it from there though.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I'm just saying that those are the headlines that you want to avoid at all costs. So I think by making sure that the part that you know, you're not jumping the curve, looking kind of like just corporate greedy is important for a lot of companies right now to keep in mind. I don't think they're going to push it before summer.
Yep. Good points. Tugs.
I think they're watching Japan. And I think Legoland, if you look at the new dates, the Universal Studios and Legoland are the ones that are going to be opening the soonest, quote unquote. And I think they're going to use that as their fall because they're smaller parks. They're not as popular. They can do different things and try different things. And I firmly believe that all of these park CEOs are probably talking to each other and going, okay, well, this is working in Japan, but this is only doing this in China. Like, what kind of limits can we do? I don't see them doing residents only because, no offense to the residents, they don't spend as much money. So you would have to look at Disney, especially, is going to have to look at their Club 33 people, their higher end annual pass people, their corporate people, and all of those people. So maybe they do like an internal one. Maybe they pick a bunch of the Club 33 people. Hey, you guys come in. They're going to need to make up that money somehow. And by inviting a lot of the annual pass people, especially ones that pay monthly that are lower income, that probably aren't working anyway, are not going to have the money when the park's open. That's not going to help them monetarily wise. So I think that they're going to start with the higher ends and work for their way around there and do limited capacities, just like Japan is doing with Legoland right now. Limited capacities. They're going to have to figure out a way to do it because having 5,000 people stand in front of the park like they do for Rise of the Resistance is not going to help anybody at all. So they would have to find like either a randomized way to select people, or they can do it like they do their Run Disney events, where if you are in this tier, you get to get tickets, and we're doing 100 tickets on this day, 100 tickets on this day, and then you bum rush the website, and then first come, first serve kind of thing. But they can't afford to have, and this goes for Disneyland too, you can't afford to have your little guys go there that aren't going to be working, that aren't going to have the money to spend anyway. They're not going to spend the money. They're going to be very scared. You have to start from the top. So that's where I think that's the difference is going to be. Your Club 33s and your higher end annual pass holders are going to be invited.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of packages they start releasing as the time to open starts to get closer once it's definite. What kind of like combination packages with hotel and hotel stay, and then like all the additional little like
I
dining
think
packages and such.
Everything is going to be really cheap because Vegas, Disney, Universal, travel, airline industry, everyone's going to be fighting for someone to spend money on them because everything is closed.
That's the other thing. Those of you who have not been to Vegas before, now will be your chance.
And everybody's been cooped up and stuff. They're going to be ready to go.
We need about 2,700 more watch time hours before.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Which is really cool. So if you want to help out the channel, go back and watch all our videos and just let them play.
Well, online the theme park builder game online. I'm telling you, that's what these other websites are
why don't we
doing
get
for
Drunk
watch
3PO
hours.
we need to get Drunk 3PO to play the Disneyland Connect game on here. So.
Get me a Tycoon.
Yeah.
Theme park Tycoon.
Oh my gosh, there's so much fun. Typhoon.
We play that up on here.
Thank you for the $100 super chat, Christopher.
We'll hold you to that in a couple months.
Can we point out that Justin Proper, go back up because he made a spelling error. He said if this doesn't blow over, it'll mean an entire year of these northern parks being closed, which would destroy companies like Cedar Fair. Cedar Fair, huh? Cedar Fair, huh? This is what happens when you go after everybody for their spelling errors, and then you make one, and then we have to highlight it because you go after every misspelling error on Twitter where there is no edit button. So there you go.
Use of comma, too.
And your comma placement's fantastic, but
no
but
period though.
But fair is
no commas in there without a period.
No period and fair, but that's okay.
Done.
Don't mess that up.
Question. Wait, where did his question go?
Done. Buried. It's over with. Proper. It's over.
We need a chicken nugget stream live from the Cousins jail cell.
Yes. That'd be amazing.
I'll answer you in the
probably make that work.
That avatar makes me thirsty.
Okay, so he says Cedar Fair is the company that owns Cedar Point, Kings Island, and many other parks. Okay, well then you can have that point, but you still had you still had errors in your comma placement, and you deleted another comment earlier that you had a misspelling error on. Do you want to remember that one? Yeah, so we got eyes on you. So
here's his mistake right here.
We love you, Proper.
It doesn't get deleted on the StreamYard side.
Yeah, and then he corrected it here.
Boy. Oh God, calling him that's so bad, you guys.
And then he admits it. Yeah, it doesn't get deleted on the StreamYards. So darn.
The internet is forever. The internet is forever.
So the theme park's open in June and you guys are going. What ride do you want? What are you looking forward to riding first?
Ooh.
I just say the last day it was open, I did something I never done in my life, was ride every single ride at Magic Kingdom in one day.
Wow.
That's how empty that park was.
That is impossible. Like that was the impossible. You did.
And they were fibbing on their wait times. Like we went to Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain. It was like 60-minute, and I'm like, "There's no way this is 60-minute." We're just literally walking on everything. And I did rides that I haven't done like since I was a little kid because everything we just basically walked on every single thing. I did like the Country Bears Jamboree. There was like 4 people in the Country Bears Jamboree thing, and I'm like, dang, I haven't done this in forever. But it was
well, why would you do that? Is the question.
I know.
Once we got done with Splash Mountain, we were like, I think we could ride every single thing in the park. The only thing I didn't do was the teacups because I didn't want to get sick. So
yeah.
Because I got this problem where I'm in the teacups, I just got to spin it as fast as I can, just because.
Oh.
So I got to ride Peter Pan. I haven't rode Peter Pan in years.
I
Oh,
love
love
Peter
Peter.
Pan.
It's okay.
Love that ride so much.
Yeah.
So what are is this? So the question was what? What ride were we looking
Yeah. What
forward
would
to?
you be like wanting to ride? Like,
Mm.
Space Mountain.
wow,
Just
yeah.
because I love Space Mountain so much. So
Thor's Magic. There's a lot of
Thank
exits.
you.
which one? Which one?
Thor's
Krista?
Magic.
Oh,
Thor's
Philhar
Magic.
Magic. Yeah. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Philhar Magic. That was so good.
Yeah.
I
Very
do
claustrophobic.
Avatar,
Like open
Flight of,
spaces.
Avatar Flight of Passage. For that, Universal, of course, would be Hagrid's motorbike, and then SeaWorld would be Mako.
J Rigman 8, thank you. I've honestly never been to a theme park. I just like supporting geeks and gamers. That is
Aw.
awesome.
Aw,
That's great. Thank you.
that's amazing.
Because we do have a lot of moving parts, and honestly, it's you know, we are being very ambitious with how many different avenues we're trying to create, and it's going to take time, but we're going to get there. We got the team to do it, and we got the support. So thank you so much.
It's going to be awesome. Like once people go back to work at Google, I'm sure they'll flip on Gaming with Geeks, right? Because you did all the watch time and the subscribers, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting for approval now. So,
Yeah.
which is probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
You know, Chris has been doing a hell of a job on the Twitch
yeah.
channel, and you know, she's inspired a lot of Twitch channels from Geeks and Gamers people. Now everybody's on.
Uh-huh.
Everybody wants to be a Twitch thought.
Everyone wants to follow the thought. Who knows?
What
I
is
don't
the
turn on my
secret?
camera, so
What is the secret to
You don't have a-
success of being a Twitch thought, Krista?
Always make sure you point the camera up.
like
At your, at your forehead, yeah.
There you
right.
go. That
she's
will
like,
get you so many views.
I see you in the chat.
Yeah,
Don't do it like that.
that's just like her.
I'm a dolphin.
That's just like her.
That's perfect.
It's great, man. It's great. I think she's also conditioned everyone when we're playing Fortnite and we go into the water. Everyone says, "I'm a dolphin. I'm a
Yeah,
dolphin."
we all do it.
Yeah, people are like, "Hey, you're dolphins." It's like, great. The power
I
of
love
Krista.
that.
The
Yeah.
power.
That's
Appreciate it.
amazing.
Yeah.
And all the avatars you get. So everybody here has one, right? Except for me. But I know you're working on one for me. But everybody else has one,
I
right?
actually am.
Yep.
Yes, everyone has one. I just finished Gary and Kelly, and I'm actually working on yours right now as we speak.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So
my
Is he going to be smiling?
I don't know. I haven't thought of it yet. What should it look like?
got to be angry, right?
Raging Ryan was hilarious. He's like the only one that's angry.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great. Is that for Gaming with Geeks or is that for your personal one?
Gaming with Geese, yes.
Okay.
Geese.
Yeah, the Twitch.
Yeah. So that's for the
you
avatars
can
for
unlock them there. Mhm.
Yeah, Gaming with Geeks Twitch account, correct?
Yep. you can unlock them
What's the
there.
open in Orlando?
Tower of Terror. Yeah, I'm answering questions in the chat. Don't mind me.
Uh,
Oh no, we
Yes,
can't.
he's talking about Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is still open in Orlando. It is not open in California anymore. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Now, it's still the same ride though.
I prefer the Guardians of the Galaxy version.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. In California, yeah, because California's Tower of Terror is nowhere near as good as Orlando's. Orlando's Tower of Terror is
Wait,
very
what?
I just don't like the Tower of Terror. I don't like it.
Wait, what's the Galaxy version?
It's just
Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the same ride, so it's the up and down and everything, but
It's Guardians of the Galaxy themed.
it's Guardians of the Galaxy themed. So the Guardians have gotten captured by the Collector, and Rocket has broken out, and you have to help him break everybody else out. And it's actually really fun. And they do for Halloween, they do Guardians After Dark, and so it picks up where the story leaves off for the regular Guardians ride. But you have to go back and get Baby Groot, and so the monsters are all loose, and so they come at you, and it's scary. It's like scary Halloween themed. It's really cool the way they do it. It's a good
Yeah,
ride.
It's got the music. It's got the great music.
Yeah, it does.
You get to see
Building
Gamora.
that in Epcot right now.
That's a roller
But it's
coaster.
not built
It's a
like
ro-
Tower of Terror.
No,
They're building a roller coaster at Epcot. Entirely new ride.
They literally
entirely-
took our Tower of Terror and gutted it and redid it as a Guardians theme. But it's the same, like physically, it's the same ride. It's the elevators and all that.
Epcot is
That's
going
gonna
to
be
be
a start point for Marvel Land, and Marvel Land's going to wrap around in the back there. But
Epcot is going to be a totally brand new theme park when they're done with it this year. So
Hard to imagine.
Totally brand new. Well, you know what happened? Like they did Avatar, and you can find some interviews where they were kind of like, yeah, we built it a little small. We didn't expect, the mass, like so many people flocking over to Avatar, and which is probably their best work. So then they come out with Galaxy's Edge thinking that'll flood the people over, and then Avatar, nah, not even close. Galaxy's Edge had no impact on the crowds at Pandora. Had none whatsoever. That Flight of Passage ride is still like 4-hour wait every.
When I was there in February, I went on my last day. I went to opening time to Animal Kingdom on my last day, and the park opened at 9 officially. They let us in at 10 minutes till, and by the time it took my short legs to walk over there to just see what was going on, it was already at a 2-hour wait. Like people literally were just.
Was that with me?
No, that was my last day, that Sunday that we didn't go together.
Well, when did we go? Because we rode it.
Wednesday, my first day there.
We did it right when the park was about to close. Yeah. We waited the whole day till the park was about to close.
That's the best time to do it.
I sent you something in the private chat I think is kind of interesting. Something I've been following regarding Disney specifically is what the stimulus package is going to be giving out to theme parks. And it turns out that I guess representatives from Walt Disney Company and Universal Parks and Resorts were among those at the White House meeting with the president on Tuesday as the administration unveiled the stimulus package and bailout plan for the economy because of the, I thought that's kind of interesting to see what kind of package they're going to be getting in this. And you might see similar to what SeaWorld did, where instead of firing employees or laying off, as you'd want to say, the furlough option where they would keep them, I guess, like you would keep them on the employment, I guess. Like
they're technically still employed.
Package it, you'd be still able to receive benefits from the company, but by doing that, it supposedly would save Disney alone $500 million by keeping their employees furloughed rather than laid off. Yep. 500 million just for that. They said too that they're looking at a possible $1 billion in losses just for the two parks, estimated if the closures remain throughout.
What loss? How much?
$1 billion.
Yeah.
If this goes any longer, they're going to have to furlough their employees. They're not really going to have a choice because they're not going to be able to pay them.
I just wonder, like, when they do reopen, like how thin, are they gonna like not do a fireworks show every single night? And maybe just wait.
Yeah. Would it be like off-season?
Are they gonna like cut a lot of corners? Not cut corners, but like not have so much.
Like not all the restaurants, not all the places that you can eat at. Like the little stands will be open. Not all the little,
the restaurants will probably not open because they donated all that food, and it's so much harder to get the fancy stuff in than it is going to be to get the pretzels and the popcorn and like the quick service stuff. So those will be open, but your nice Hollywood Derby, all that stuff might not open at all.
Krista, have you been to Epcot?
I have, yeah.
You have? Did you go around the world, like around the back?
Yeah, I did. I haven't gone like to every restaurant. I've only been to like Italy and I think Canada as well.
But when you went to Canada, was it like, did you feel like you were home?
No, I did not. It felt better than home.
That's a racist question.
I was wondering because
I'm joking.
You know who they have representing Canada? Martin Short.
I know it. If they really want to represent Canada, give me Bret the Hitman Hart.
There you go.
What the hell? So, but no, that's actually interesting though about like how accurate it is. So in any of the Canadian aspect of it, did it remind you, or you're just kind of like whatever, Krista?
Yeah, I was just pretty much like whatever, because again, I haven't really been around Canada as much. I've been to United States more. The only places I've ever been in Canada was Ontario, so it was really hard to really think of like Canada as that. But yeah, I got it.
Yeah, because you told me that actually. You told me you've traveled more into you live in Montreal, but you've traveled more in the U.S. than you have around Canada. So yeah, it's depressing to think about where we could be. I mean, look, for all of our complaints about Disney and how much they've ruined, certain things and their nonsense, I have still not lost my passion for the Disney theme parks. I absolutely have not. I know Tugs hasn't. I know Krista hasn't. I know Jay hasn't, or Candace. Like we all have our problems with everything they're doing, but to now, like this is going to have a huge impact. Like, what is it? 2021 is when is it the 50th anniversary?
Yes, 50.
Yep.
And I know they were planning something huge, for that entire year. They wanted everything to be working, all of these new rides to be completely operational. They wanted to have everything cleaned up and looking good. And this whole thing's going to have a significant impact on how these parks operate.
They're going to have to stop. I think they're going to have to stop all the Epcot stuff, except for stuff that's already about halfway or more completed, because they wanted to gut that whole thing. The bright side is we might get Spaceship Earth longer, which I haven't been on yet. So yay.
I think that's done. I
They
think
haven't
you
started
missed
it.
your
Open up the rides,
opportunity.
though?
Nah.
What was that, Krista?
Somebody told me to
You think
cancel my
they'll-
trip. Oh, who was that? Oh, right.
I was just saying, like, do you think that they'll keep the rides open though, because you're standing in line crowded with a bunch of people, or
You
do you
can
think they'll
separate
only allow it for those who have fast pass?
I don't know what they'll do.
That's actually a good. Yeah, it's going to be so interesting, because you have to think about like what would be like the business model. She brings up good points. So the business model of the theme park, like it's not the same. Like you can kind of keep people at kind of a distance, going to Walmart, going to the mall, going here, going there.
Yeah.
In a theme park, you are shoulder to shoulder on top of people.
Well, that's why they need to limit their capacity to begin with. Like that's what Legoland Japan has been doing. Is
And
whatever
not by price gouging, because that's what they've been raising, incremental rate park, raising the prices has been an issue. They did remove the issue with having large stroller buggy things to try to bring in better space for more people. But like you can't have a stroller wagon anymore there. They're making little changes, but they do need to, I think they really need to think harder about ways to make it more pleasurable for the people who buy tickets there, because it's not great when you are feeling like a herd of cattle.
Yeah, no, they won't open. I don't think, unless this miraculously blows over just overnight, which is also possible. Who knows? They won't open at full capacity. They'll have to open at a modified capacity and let however many people in at a time.
And who knows if people even want to go.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll be too scared.
I gotta get out of the house though. I'm telling you right now, if they said it was open tomorrow, I would be there.
I would be on the plane. I would leave this live.
Have you not seen my movies? I'm going crazy here.
I will.
Sorry.
I'm going to be there opening day, whatever that day is. I don't care. I already told my bosses. I was like, I'm taking my leave and I'm out. Opening day.
I freaking dressed up like Indiana Jones and walked around my house for an hour talking to myself.
Me.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Oh my goodness.
Just in there.
We're all going crazy. It's fine.
My thing is to watch Disney Springs and City Walk. If they start opening up little restaurants here and there, they're starting to test the waters and see how far. Again, it's all up to Orlando. Yeah, Orange County, Orlando, like what they decide. If they quarantine longer, then they have no choice. Then they have to keep it closed. But
well, that's what Shanghai Disney has been doing this whole time.
Once it's open, after the 19th, if the virus isn't bad in Florida,
cases are starting to pick up as of yesterday, unfortunately.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Florida's got such a large elderly population. I don't see it not having an issue there.
What area? Central or south?
Mainly maybe in the south is where the majority of the cases are. So,
one thing they could do is increase like the specials for park hopping. Like the Park Hopper Pass, where it would spread out people who purchase tickets among the 4 parks. A little bit better. I think by making that an option so that people aren't forced to buy just Magic Kingdom, that would be one way, to help with the limit I guess.
Yeah, if they open up all 4 parks limited each, that would help. Because there's people like me, like I avoid Magic Kingdom like the plague.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's
Exactly.
crowded and there's too many kids and I can't deal.
Yeah, so like instead of offering just single day, single park passes, doing a 4-park pass would be one way to do that, and then just hope. But then again, you have to hope people would take advantage of the other parks, which Magic Kingdom is still, that's the bread and butter.
Yeah,
so.
they won't do that, man. They hate each other.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, you have to understand now, Disney now owns a big chunk of Universal Studios because they own The Simpsons. They own Marvel Land, and so according, they get a percentage of what Universal. Now Universal still sells clothes and merchandise without the Disney logo because it's some kind of contract thing that they had worked out before. So that is a rarity thing you could buy. I don't know. People buy that stuff. Like I was talking to someone when I was at Universal. They're like, they come here to buy that because it's a collector's item to have a Simpsons shirt without the Disney logo, to have a Marvel shirt without the Disney logo on it now. It's the only place you can get it. That's official licensed Marvel stuff without Disney stamp.
Yeah, the donut stuff.
But it is really interesting. Who's been Jeremy, you're the only one that's been to Islands and Universal on the panel. No, Candace went.
I've been to all the parks in Florida. I've been to SeaWorld, Busch Gardens.
Just disrespecting all the whammon.
We went together, you blonde. Good grief.
We only went to one park. We didn't go to both.
Chrissy, you've been, and Chris has been, and I think Chris has been to Universal too, right?
Yes, I've been to Universal.
See, man, disrespect to all the whammon.
I prefer Universal, honestly.
Yeah, he just looked at it, he says, well, there's only one man on the panel like me.
So
He's
what
probably
I'm
the
trying to
only
say
one that's
is,
experienced this.
All of us are considered men on Geeks and Gamers now, according to that one article.
The worst part was that he was with me when we went to both parks. That's even, I don't even know.
All right, I forgot. Sorry. Anyway, so what happened was, if you ride the Spider-Man ride and then go ride the Transformers ride, you realize they're the same exact ride with just different with different characters. The reason is because they thought Disney was going to gut out Marvel and take it from them. They were going to turn Marvel Land into Transformers Land. And so they redid the ride. And then when they realized they didn't have to do that, they built the Transformers ride in the other park.
I just love the Transformers, the docking bay. That's my favorite part. I don't even care about the ride. I just like seeing Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and what's the other one? The bad guy.
Yeah.
What am I forgetting his name? Yeah.
Look at the man crush smiling and how he's happy. The first thing Jeremy says on the live stream is, "We need Ryan." That's the first thing he says. So talk about disrespecting women.
I said we need.
Talk about disrespecting women.
I said we needed positivity, so we needed to bring Ryan in.
I'm nervous having you and Ryan in here again on this channel. Like any other channel like us. Just saying.
Oh man,
Ryan feels like the opposite about theme parks. I don't know why you would even chance that here.
I don't think Ryan likes anything theme park at all.
No, he hates them.
I don't think he likes anything.
Except the gym.
The gym and the EU.
Yeah.
Universal has too many screen-based attractions. Yeah, sadly, it's because of space.
But that's why, Hagrid's motorbike ride was such a pleasant surprise, because that was a roller coaster done right, included lots of classic elements, but lots of really fun animatronics as well. No screens except for in the queue. So I think that's a great place to keep the screen technology, so you don't have too many of them. The queues can be a great opportunity to get people immersed and engaged for the ride, and then let the ride be the ride.
The worst rides ever are at Universal is the Fast and Furious ride. That is the worst ride you will ever.
That's literally the only one I haven't done.
Don't even ride it because you want to see how bad it is. It's that unless you walk all the way on the ride, don't wait in line for that ride. It's terrible. It is. I couldn't believe this is what.
I knew it was going to be bad because they did it on the California side first.
I heard it's different.
I didn't like the Jimmy Fallon one. I don't like.
They should have left freaking Earthquake in there with The Rock. that was so much better. And then they give us this. It's awful. You ride in a giant bus. All right, everyone agrees with me. All right, yeah, the ride is horrible. Yeah,
I haven't ridden it.
It's
But
not even a ride,
hey,
Jeremy. You get in a bus with a bunch. You get packed in a bus, and it moves like this. And then you see a movie on both sides where they're driving fast.
See,
That's
Kong,
it.
Kong does that
That's
way
it.
better. It's like Kong, you're in a big,
Yeah,
that
Kong was
big,
better.
yeah. Kong, you have the same sort of like screens on both sides, but it is very well done. A lot of fun.
Kong is so, but it's the same type.
Yeah,
But yeah, it is. I couldn't believe
I
it.
love it.
I got on that ride and I was just like, "This is." I couldn't. Could you imagine people were waiting 2 hours to ride this
No.
thing open?
Never.
That ride is
Never.
based off of the California one. So California did their backlot tour. We had the Fast and Furious part, and then they were like, "We're gonna make a ride based off of this." And this is the dumbest thing ever. And it was the same thing with the bus and all.
So, Krista, do you have a ride you just won't go on?
A ride that I won't go on, like in general, we're talking Disney and Universal.
Like, yeah, just because it makes you sick, or is it boring, or is it just?
Ooh, the Hulk. 'Cause I don't like roller coasters.
Oh,
I love the Hulk. It's
no.
that's my
I
favorite.
get
Like the
sick.
roar right at the beginning.
I haven't ridden the
not for
I haven't
me.
ridden the Hulk. I haven't ridden the Hulk in a long time.
I got sick on Space Mountain, so I mean,
I will ride the Hulk
the
like
type
4
of
times
rides
at the
for
end of the
me
day.
are Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
I like Winnie. I just went on Winnie the Pooh. It was great. I like.
Yeah. See, you go to Disney with me. It's
Just
Winnie
kind
the
of hop
Pooh
along,
and
and
shopping.
Tigger joins you and all that stuff.
Winnie the Pooh at shopping.
Winnie the Pooh shopping and ice cream. That's it. Then we go home.
That sounds about perfect.
Pineapple
The only-
Dole Whip.
the only ride that I just refuse to get on is Mission Space. I can't deal with Mission
And
Space.
Small World. I can't do either of those.
I love this. I'm a fan of Small World, but Mission Space, like I remember the first time I rode Mission Space. This is before they've separated, because now they have they
Yeah,
have
two
two different
different, yeah.
versions, right?
Yeah.
So I rode it, when it first came out, and I seriously questioned where I was when I was done, because the thing effed me up bad. I was like,
It was awful.
my head was spinning. I was sick. I'd never been sick ever on a ride ever. And I love rides like the Gravitron at the fair, and all that, the gravity that pulls. Like I love those stuff. Mission Space just messed me up. I've never gotten sick off a ride, but I will never ever ride that ride again.
It's I'm surprised they still have it, because people didn't make it riding that ride.
Yeah.
People died on that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
What?
So yeah.
Meanwhile, they want to
was
redo
like-
Spaceship Earth instead. I'm like, y'all should get rid of Mission Space. How about that?
Yeah. Hey, what about the fact that it changed the subject a little bit? But what about they're finally getting rid of Stitch? Finally,
Yeah.
finally.
Yes.
It's like Kathleen Kennedy's been running that division of the park for the past decade. It's the worst thing ever. It's so bad. They're finally getting rid of it. I
like
hate
the Alien one better, when it was like
Mhm.
Alien Encounter,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it was a giant centipede that broke out and
Yeah.
it like crawled on your head and all that stuff like that. The Stitch
that's fine.
thing was.
Oh, Mr. Toad. We still have Mr. Toads in California. For those
I've
of
never
you.
ridden. I've never ridden Mr. Toad's ride.
Oh man, Mr. Toads is fun. It's also really dark.
I've heard a lot of great things, but I've never.
Yeah,
ridden it.
he literally dies and goes to hell. That's the premise of the ride.
Ooh.
Huh.
You should do a theme park accidents video, roller coaster accident.
Ooh, you know
That's
how
a good.
Uh-oh.
It's a good
The Great
idea.
Movie
actually.
Ride is no
Wait,
more.
wait,
It is now
wait.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Well, so the first time I ever rode Space Mountain, and I think and I give these guys complete credit, total respect, because there's two guys in front of me, and they were talking to the point where they're trying to make people around them listen, and they were talking about how like, yeah, did you remember that guy got his head chopped off on this ride? It's crazy, man.
gosh.
And I'm like, what the. So I mean, I didn't know what the ride was. They kept talking about like this guy. Like, there's a certain point where like it was up a little too high and his head got chopped off, and I was pretty young,
my gosh.
So,
and so, huh?
Good. Good.
No, so of course I'm riding this ride for the first time, and I didn't know you couldn't see anything, so I'm just like I'm paranoid, like ducking constantly every time we go up a hill. Like, it was the most stressful thing ever. So yeah, there's stories out there. Obviously this didn't happen, but yeah, there are good stories out there, like roller coaster accidents that
there are real stories at Disney. Disney is very good at covering them up. You'd have to talk to cast members that have been around a while. The new people don't know anything. But I did get to ride Space Mountain with the lights on as a cast member. And I tell you what, if you are at a certain height, you really should not be riding this ride.
really.
The basketball players is like, it's not far from their heads. So there's a reason nobody does this unless you're little on that ride, because it's literally right there, and it's twisty and windy. So if you jerk and your arms out like this, like, there's a reason why people don't ride it like this, that ride, because it's right
But
there.
don't they tell
right
you?
Huh?
Don't they tell you before you go on, like, you should be this height?
Well, yeah, but tall-wise, they don't have a height restriction tall-wise. They have a height restriction little. So if you are under a certain amount, you can't get on it. But they don't say, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you're 6'10". You can't be on here. They don't tell you that. But that's like the tallest. It's crazy. It was scared. I rode it with the lights on. And I was like, okay, never want to do that again. And I'm little.
I've seen the video. I've seen the videos of it with on, and it honestly looks kind of creepy with the lights
creepy.
on.
It's very
it looks pretty creepy.
Everyone's stuff is everywhere. Their glasses, their bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Their hats.
Wow. I'm pretty tall. I don't raise my hand.
Yeah, don't raise your hands. You'll lose a finger. There's been people that have lost fingers on Space Mountain. There's the guy in California lost his hand on Big Thunder. There was a guy that died on Big Thunder.
Riding a roller coaster and a finger falls on you?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What was that?
That died on the Thunder Mountain Railroad. There were unconfirmed, but a bunch of people died on the steamboat in California years and years and years ago. A line snapped and like killed a bunch of people. I don't know how true that is. I don't know, before my time, but
you need to do a top 10 fact or fiction when it comes to theme park ride disasters and see, like, go by rumor, fact or fiction. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, well, so much for our positive channel, but I mean, it does remind me of this story. This happened back in 2013, and this woman fell 75 feet off of a Texas roller coaster. Oh. She rode. Let's see. The 52-year-old mother of two was reportedly not strapped in properly to the Texas Giant at Six Flags.
I saw that, actually. I was there. Yeah, but gosh. She fell into the beams right below it. And it was a disaster. It was a disaster. And you could see people who were there saw her lifting off and trying to hold her back in, and they couldn't once they got to one of the bigger drops, and she was gone. So she was a mom. She was a larger, like, Hispanic woman, and they did not I think there was I can't remember if there was lawsuits filed or civil suits. There might not have been a criminal negligence, but it might be a civil lawsuit that went on with that, because they ultimately said it had to do with something with the improper, like a restraint issue, and then changed the carts after that.
That's where a lot of these accidents come from, by the way. If you ever see, for those of you who go as frequently as we do, you see those idiots that are like, oh, I'm going to smuggle in my camera, or I'm going to smuggle in this, or I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to sit right so that it's more of a fun experience. That's how you get people hurt, including yourself. And so a lot of these accidents, most of them, are because people are stupid and they don't follow
I just like walking out of the ride and seeing somebody throw up. That just makes my whole day. I think it's the funniest thing.
You like that? You need to look. You need to just show a picture of the ride here that we have at the theme park here. It's called Cannibal. It has an inversion. It's a roller coaster with an inversion on the main drop. It's insane. There's like a net at the bottom of it in case, because so many people lose things, and it's huge. And there's a lot of that happens.
Legoland, kids throw up because they eat all that junk, and they get them on these little Lego spinny rides, and they throw up everywhere. It's hilarious because they look like those cat. You ever see like a cat throwing up a hairball? It's hilarious. It's like grossly hilarious. And like you see these kids, mom, they just throw up.
Ew.
Shadow
Everyone
Dragon
just kinda
says,
oh man.
Shadow Dragon says, do a video on the Great Monorail Crash of '09. Do we know about that?
Oh, I remember that.
I mean, I'm good with us doing this type. This type of content that'll get people like Ryan watching. That's for sure. So
Here, I'm sharing something if you want to. This is Cannibal. In case you're, it's really fun.
Oh my gosh, what in the
So
world?
it's a custom coaster. You won't see it anywhere else. They have you go up an elevator for a long time, and it makes like like kind of scary noises as you go up. And then the first is a big inverted drop. And then you do all these twists and turns. It's got slow barrel rolls as well, which is really fun. The slow barrel rolls are so uncomfortable, though, if you are not a fan of that kind of thing, because the slow G rolls you feel like you're gonna fall out. So anyway, that's the one everyone heaves on.
I can tell you the worst theme park ever is King's Dominion. Don't ever go to King's Dominion.
where's that at?
It's in Virginia. It's like near Richmond, Virginia.
Mhm.
It's huge, but it's the worst.
Yeah,
Is that something we could actually go like vlog to talk about how bad it is? If we go,
that'd
Yeah,
be funny.
It's big. It's like there's tons of rides there, but it's a worse theme park. It's old. They've got like old roller coasters. You've been there, Ryan? All right. And it's like they've got old wooden roller coasters that I don't even think I could fit in anymore. It's just they've got tons of rides. They had like Yogi Bear's Cave, the Scooby-Doo, Hanna-Barbera Land they have there.
Oh my gosh, the nostalgia.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I want to go now.
Like,
I've never heard of this.
yeah, you could look up King's Dominion and see like what it's really. Yeah,
How long's it been there?
Since the 60s.
Oh, I love
Dang.
Manta.
Really? That
Yeah,
sounds very interesting.
Hanna-Barbera Land doesn't exist there anymore. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
All right. Well, hey, I've got to bounce because I got something I got to deal with. So, you guys, I appreciate all of you being here. Got
another 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah, just whatever, however long you guys want to go. So, thank you all for being here, Krista, Candace, Tubbs,
Jeremy, I
and
sent you a
Drunks.
couple messages, by the way, just whenever you get a chance.
Okay.
A couple
All right.
things
I'll
you
check.
might be interested in.
Okay. But you guys have a good one, and
Thanks, Jeremy.
Bye,
So-
Jeremy.
See ya.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So the boss has left.
So when we were talking about rides that we would not do at all, I'd have to say mine would be anything IMAX screen. So like the Simpsons ride is oh my god, and the Jimmy Fallon ride, and no thank you. Anything like that at any of the parks.
Jimmy Fallon. I like Jimmy Fallon.
It's too much. Like my eyes just don't. I don't know.
I
They
don't
don't
like
I
Jimmy
haven't
Fallon.
done it.
It just. I guess like it was okay until we went into outer space, and then I'm like, okay.
Do you like those
Yeah.
kind of rides, Krista?
The one where you're just like you have to wear like 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because like I like Floor's Magic, but the thing with Floor's Magic though is that like you get the full effect, like the smells and just like your seat vibrating, and I like that, but
Yeah.
otherwise no.
4D.
What is your absolute favorite? We'll end on like what's our favorite ride?
Mm.
Do you have an absolute favorite? It doesn't have to be at Disney or Universal. Do you have like an absolute favorite ride that's just
Mine is going to sound really weird, but this is always the first one that I do, just because whenever I go, it's like I guess ritual at this point. I do the Mummy first.
I love the Mummy.
I know it's like one of
Oh
those
my
ones
God.
that's so old, but like people don't realize how well done it is.
It's
It
so
has
good.
twist turns. You don't know what's going to happen. It's short. You can do it a few times. There's never a line. I could go on and on. It's great.
Yep. I love that ride so
Yeah.
much. Oh my gosh. That ride, Haunted Mansion. I love Haunted Mansion so much too.
Haunted Mansion?
Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion's good.
So I was on Haunted Mansion with my brother November, and it broke down right at the scene. You guys remember the scene where it's like the dinner table and the
Yes.
posters, the pictures come to life, and the two guys have the little gun.
Yeah.
It broke down right there, and all the lights. So they were like, all the lights came on.
Oh
And-
no.
Yeah, so you got to see like
Oh,
everything,
yeah.
like
Wow.
how it worked. Like everything's just
Yeah.
mirror based and projection based.
Yeah.
So we sat there for a long time, and then they were like, somebody like came through and were like, we're gonna have to walk you guys out
That's
after about like
horrible.
45 minutes. But then all of a sudden they didn't. But then we went through the whole ride, like no music, no sound, no nothing. None of the animatronics were working. All the lights were on, and they were just getting people off.
Oh,
And then they had a guy. They had a guy at the end giving out these little fast pass tickets. Like, sorry, fast pass ticket.
I love
Sorry.
that.
Here's a fast pass ticket. You could use it for anything but Frozen. Here you go. Sorry. And so like
Anything
that.
with Frozen.
Anything with Frozen. What's my other? I love somebody said Jungle Cruise in the chat. Look, I love Jungle Cruise. I have a soft spot for Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
I will never not go on Jungle Cruise. So
I love the commentary. The commentary is it makes it for me.
it's the best. And then on the
Mountain is fun
Disneyland
too.
side, I don't know if Disney World does it, but on the Disneyland side, our Haunted Mansion and our Jungle Cruise get a Christmas makeover.
Yes.
So
We get that too.
Yeah. That's the one
no,
I
I know your guys' Haunted Mansion doesn't. Ours does, but the Jungle Cruise on our end does too. It's so cute.
We had a Christmas makeover at Haunted Mansion.
You don't. Ours is full blown Nightmare.
I
Before
saw you
Christmas.
there on Christmas. So yeah.
That was Disneyland. Disneyland does Nightmare Before Christmas for their Haunted
Right,
Mansion.
I get that. I'm saying like they decorate
They decorate it, but they don't do a
Haunted
whole
Mansion
thing.
doesn't get a
They do.
makeover.
Wrong. Yes.
First of
thank
all,
you.
there's a giant tree there around Haunted Mansion, so that's my makeover. And they put Christmas
Okay.
lights up.
No. No, our ride shuts down. It shuts down for like a month, and they go through and they put everything Nightmare Before Christmas.
All right, well,
Jack
you didn't give all those specifics.
Yeah.
The thing I like about the Haunted Mansion is when it's like 1,000,000 degrees, that's a ride that you can go on.
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
Yes.
it's long.
it's cold. It's
And,
cool.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
on every ride that broke down that I've been on was Haunted Mansion, People Movers, the
Oh,
Carousel of Progress broke down.
getting
Jurassic
stuck
Park.
people movers like in the sun would be awful.
Yeah.
Park broke down.
Ooh.
Um,
My
Oh,
grandmother went on that.
like
ride.
inside, like inside or
I was
outside?
roasted in the sun, man.
Oh, that's awful too. I was gonna say if you were inside, that'd be kind of fun.
We were
'cause
all
you'd
like
be
putting our
dinosaur.
hands in the water and like splashing because it was so hot.
Oh, that's awful. Oh God, that's why I don't do.
Ours is a good one to cool off too.
The
That's why
Right.
I don't do any carousel or any, what do you call it, the Ferris wheel. I don't do any Ferris wheels because if you get
Ooh, I
stuck
don't do it.
anywhere up top, I'm like, that
Too
is
high.
just, especially if you have a young kid, like a 2-year-old, that's
Ooh.
my worst nightmare is getting stuck in a Ferris wheel with my 2-year-old. Like I literally, I would have, it's the worst nightmare.
Did you
for anyone.
ever been to Avatar World, Krista? Were you there when that was?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to Disney. Last time I was there was 2015. It's been a while.
The Flight of Passage is my favorite ride,
Mhm.
hands down.
I heard
Nothing
it
even
Yeah.
comes
Yeah,
close.
nothing beats Flight of Passage. That's true.
Yeah, I love the music.
What's that?
Oh, the music's so fun too. I just
Everything
love
is
the music.
just-
Like it's
Everything about that
beautiful.
ride is just
Yeah.
really amazing.
That
I got
whole-
teary eyed.
Yeah, it's a
It was like so
beautiful- I love
much.
it so much.
Yeah, that is a screen ride they did well.
Mhm.
They did really well with that ride. Wow.
Yeah,
The
I
land.
like
great.
those kinds of screen rides, but
Exactly.
Oh,
my favorite
Avatar
classic
or
ride
is
is
so beautiful at night. Oh my god.
oh, the ET ride, it smells so weird in there now. I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know. In the last time y'all have been there lately, like it's got a funky smell in the Forest Queue.
Yeah, we went when I was there in February, we went on that. I never ridden it before, and it was interesting.
Like I can tell you I know which ride we're in just by the smell. Like it's so
Mhm.
distinctive. It smells like a moldy forest.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's okay. You don't have to. My sense of smell might
We
just
talked
be
about it
better.
in mine. Ben was like, "It smells weird in here." I was
Why
like,
does he not remember anything?
Ride. I'm still bitter.
Oh,
I'm bitter about
yeah,
Jaws, and I'm bitter
it's
about
sad.
Back to the Future, and I'm bitter
That was
about.
yeah.
I'm bitter about those three. I will always be bitter about those three. And
I
I'm
love
also
that.
bitter about stupid Frozen. I hate that ride.
Jaws ride was okay.
Jaws ride was awesome.
I know
I love
exactly
the
what
live shows.
I know
back
exactly
Then.
what Candace is talking about.
Thank you, Christopher.
I know it. Listen, I hung out with Candace for a whole day at Universal Studios. I know.
But
I
yeah, do
know.
y'all remember back like probably like 15, maybe 20 years ago, they had like the live action shows that had like the major pyrotech like stuff going on. It was so fun. They would like even smaller theme parks, like
Yeah.
the Six Flags isn't small, but Six Flags used to do like major Batman shows back when back in the early 90s with that Penguin and all that kind of stuff. So much fun.
Yeah.
You know you're talking to a woman when they bring up the shows.
No, those were so much fun though. I always
Oh.
loved those shows. The shows now are like like the animal shows are. I'm just like, man, they get kind of played, they're kind of boring.
Yeah. No, the old
like
school shows with
Did you like the shows, Krista?
Not a fan. No.
See,
Mm-mm.
we
What?
want action. Want to ride. I don't want to sit
No,
there.
but
and
they what I'm trying to say is they used to be more adrenaline filled back
Yeah,
then.
we're talking about the old
I'm with you, Jay. I'm on Team Jay here. But yeah, I'm saying that they've dumbed down the shows a lot to where they're just mainly
Thank you,
singing,
Steph.
dancing, and animals.
Jeez. Yeah, the old school stunt shows with the pyro and
Exactly.
What was
Yes.
the car one that was at Hollywood Studios? They don't have anymore.
all I want to do
I
is
think
I'll end the stream on this. When they changed Pirates of the Caribbean, it was very sad. It's not like it was anymore.
Yeah,
And the
agreed.
Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Shanghai Disney is one of the greatest pirate rides. Everyone should experience that because they take all three of the movies and they merge them into one ride and everything. And it was absolutely amazing. Nothing like what we have here in the States. So would anybody like to say anything before we close out?
I can't wait to go back to Disney.
Me
Yes.
too.
yeah.
Can I be your
I'm
tour
looking
guide?
Sure.
Sooner rather than later.
We're getting our tickets for next year, so we're gonna be back for
We'll all
sure.
go.
I have an annual pass to activate.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine just ended. I gotta renew it, but I'm waiting until I see if they do a special.
Yeah.
I live down the street. I can go whenever. So there you go.
We're looking at homes in Melbourne again today. Mhm.
You're not special.
Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. I appreciate we had 50. At one point we were over 70. So thank you. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't. We're trying to get the watch time up on Park Hoppin' to get to that precious 4,000 hours. We're getting there. So I appreciate you guys. We'll have more talks like this probably every week. We're going to try to do a stream every week. I want to do one twice a week, one on Saturdays and one during the week. We just kind of hang out and talk about things that we like about theme parks. So appreciate it, Justin. Maybe we'll invite some of you guys on. If you just some of y'all enjoy
That'd be awesome.
like as much as the rest of us. So and go through just different things, some tips and stuff and all those things that we do because I got them all. I got them all. Until next time. Why? Thank you so much for all that. I appreciate